All right, so I finished the brown belt tape, and there were 31 techniques on it. Um, like I said, and I wrote them all out. Now, remember the first time I just counted the techniques, right? Now I'm trying to actually pronounce them in the Japanese with Sensei Ariba Araba. Sorry about that. Miguel. Yeah. Sensei Miguel. So the next is brown belt to black belt techniques, right? So, like I told you, and then they have self-defense techniques, right? So, there's 2 videos on that. And then they have an interview with Sensei Araba. How are you saying it? sorry. And that's the point, though, right? There's no word in the Hebrew for the male anatomy, but they do refer to it as a fruit, right? A seed. Right? What kind of seed to impregnate the female? Idiot. This is why you're rebelling against God. Satan taught you the knowledge of good and evil. Not God. Why? Until you sinned with him, or he hurt Adam. I know. Adam didn't know there was anything right or wrong about anything he did. Until he ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, this ain't a fruit tree. A fruit tree cannot teach you good and evil. Never can. But a dumbass human being like Satan can in the flesh. Hiding behind the fig tree, right? With his penis in the limb, acting like it was a serpent to Eve. Dummy. Damn. Are you blinded by Satan? 100%. Not 50-50, 100%. Satan has been beguiling the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims for 6,000 years. Could be another 7 before Jesus returns. By the way, we have to deal with each other or die. You got 120 years to deal with each other or you die. Right. Some die 70 to 80 because that's what it says in the Psalms, right? See, some die 30 to 40 or 50 because Jesus didn't make it past 50, you know. Why do you think the lifespan is shortened, too? Not just disease, not just disease. Disease from Satan, right? Man's not caring about his fellow man either, I know. They use sin to punish you, right? When you can all do it. Why is it sin that you make it a sin? But at the same time, if you feel a certain way, you know you do, or you know you don't, or they try to convince you you do, or they try to convince you don't. See what I mean? Or they try to convince you do, rape you into it, and then say you're gay, not them, but they're gay too. That's the point, right? See, sexual homosexuality, right? If you say it's a sin and do it anyway, you're the hypocrite. By the way. You're the actor pretending to be against it when really you're raping men into it, right? That's a sin too. That's hypocrisy too. That's the whole point Moses and Jesus are trying to make to you. A law is just a rule, right? The law does no good if you don't understand it even, right? And like I told you, there wasn't even a Hebrew word for penis, but they did call it the seed shooter, right? if you will. There isn't one, no. But when the woman is standing in the shadow of the meal, and his fruit is sweet to her taste, what do you think it means? There's only one part of the male anatomy that's his fruit. Right? The penis. Right. But you've been so conditioned by your rabbis and your liars and your fornicators. See, you're fornicating and calling it marriage. It's no different than those shooting a porno. In fact, you're crueler, right? Because see, the people in the porno are showing they're having sex. You might even put a damn sheet over your female because you're afraid to see her naked in case she's your blood relative or something, right? Or your aunt. I mean, where's your mind, right? In the gutter. That's what you're doing to your women, right? You're degrading them. You probably hurt them the first time you have sex with them if they're virgins, right? And you don't give a damn. Satan won, by the way. He's still winning. And we're letting him do it. Men and women, by the way, ladies. You let your men do you right or wrong. And you won't say nothing because you don't know better either, right? You buy into their lie, right? That's the whole point. And don't tell me you're not messing with me because I know better, right? I know what I watch on TV. It shouldn't be on 3 and 9 every morning or once in a while, right? Even though, right, there was nothing on 3 or 9 that wasn't already recording when I went to sleep around 12 watching the video last night, right? Maybe 1 or 2, right? Because I finished watching the white belt, the green belt last night. That's 22 techniques. And just now, I did 31 techniques plus 1, which is 32, right? For the brown belt, and now I'm on the black belt tape, right? These tapes are about an hour long, right? But with my familiarity with karate, of course, I know what they're doing. I can pick up on it easier. Though I've been studying it since 2018 and 2017, and a little bit before that with the books. See, with the books, you can kind of look over the techniques differently, but the videos are better too, right? A little bit. Unless you're trying to pronounce something, right? So you're not sure what they're saying, right? But that's the whole point. You don't want to know the truth, right? You also don't want to know what you can do from what you can't do, right? If Moses is talking about getting your mission out during the day of your season, right, what do you think he means, right? You're masturbating, fool, right? Before evening, right? If it gets on your skin or garment, or your clothes, right? Or leather, which you can do if it's, being handled. You get everywhere. Anything it touches is basically what it's saying, wash, and it's only unclean till evening. Same if you have sex. But that was before Jesus for us Christians, by the way, Christians. Jesus also changed the law into showing us mercy and not sacrifice. What does that mean, Christians? You can't masturbate. That's what it means. Davis was being self-righteous because he's wanting to masturbate with you. But I didn't say nothing about that, brother. At all. Now, can you do it, though? Sure. Consensually. Person can also say no, like I would. Like you did. There you go. I did say no, right? I wouldn't do that with Davis or any man, right? It's just not my thing, right? You understand, right? But self-righteousness is a sin too. You can be too righteous for God and Jesus and be a dick of a man to your wife, right? A butthole. A bad Richard Nixon. Now, whoever's coming by again, all I know is a little bit before 5 or 6, I woke up again, right? And went to bed around 1 or 2, right? But I was also watching the DVD format. So when I got to the TV part, again, I gotta change it like I told you, right, and showed you before, right? With this remote, and then use the other remote, right? Well, it should be on 9 still, but but not 3, not 3.
And bring back the much warmer air. Today, our high temperature here in Savannah is 69.
Didn't you know who was on, right? But this is Alyssa, right? Talking about Alyssa, right? Well, it's Melissa, but I'm teasing. I don't know her. It has nothing to do with the channel, I don't think. At all. But it does have to do with self-righteousness, right? Which your righteousness is filthy rags, right? Now, like I said, 22 in WSAV 2035, right, are supposed to be on there. The 2 that aren't are 3 and 9, right? This was supposed to be WSAV 2 was supposed to be the last channel it was on, right? And I also watched a little bit of the Connors and then went to Stargirl. And in the living room, I was watching a little bit of the Avengers Infinity Wars yesterday, right? Now, if I can remember all that, why can't I remember putting it on 3 or 9, right? Did someone change it on purpose? Because, again, it was on there, right? Whatever you want to call that contraption, That's my stuff I sleep with sometimes, right? If my back bothers me or something. By the way. Right. But it is the whole point. When people hurt each other, right? Or want to hurt one another, right? They're already satanic over what they can or can't do, right? You lost your marbles, right? You never had them probably in the first place if you're willing to murder over a mistake, right? And not just simply admit you're making a mistake, right? It's the whole point, right? And I know whoever's coming by, you don't want them coming by, but they did again anyway, so what can I do about it? I don't really know who it actually is, right? But they're obviously believing me and trying to have sex with me, and you're mad about it. I know what it is, right? And then you're trying to black me out after, right? She leaves. And either she put it on 3 and you put it on 9, right? Trying to make out like it's kitty something for me. Because 9 also has the kitty show, Sesame Street, all that. Right? I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You can't get me one way, so you're trying to pretend I'm doing something else, right? Well, that's the point. You're not reading the Bible. And you don't get along well with others. You understand? No, you don't. No, you don't. It's his way or the highway which makes him a crazy tyrant, right? And that's not what the Bible is telling you, right? God ain't the tyrant, right? Satan is. The devil's the tyrant, right? The devil makes you do bad things, right? Not God, right? But the thing about any bad thing is you can repent of it or admit you're wrong, right? But y'all don't want to do that, right? You don't feel you're wrong, right? But you are, right? And the devil will lie to you you're right when you're wrong, too, right? He'll make you a minister of righteousness when you're being self-righteous, right? But if she is, it's cause it feels good. Whatever we're doing. And I know what it might would be. I told you what I would do with any woman who wants me, right? But then she's wanting me to remember she came out last night, right? And you're still not. But you're acting like it's pedophilia when it's not either. The girl's of age and consent, right? See, that's another thing God lets you do. Follow current laws and the Old Testament in you, right? So you're not following it because you never believed in it. You're pretending to, right? That ain't any better than being a hypocrite. At least a hypocrite is a hypocrite in the midst they're hypocrites, right? Same with gay people, right? See, you're not lying about being gay, so God wouldn't condemn that, right? Even the sex act itself, right? As long as it's consensual, not rape. Right. And the Bible kind of implies that too, right? And it's probably talking about adultery with the man, sleeping with the woman, period. Or another man, right? Period. It's an abomination, right? To your wife. Who to? Your wife. Your wife, right? You're sleeping with her and another man, idiot. Dummy. But if you're faithful or you're with a man outright, that's not what it's talking about. I know, dude. But I'm not gay myself, but it don't mean I don't understand why you're all confused about it. Both sides of the And I can't do nothing about it. Only tell you what the Bible's really saying there, like Jesus tried to. But what you want to do? Crucify me. The way that you're going to crucify me. Like you did Jesus, like you did John, like you did... You're crucifiers. Because you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Can you? But why is Jack such a playboy? Because, I mean, he knows how to talk to the girls and get the girls to have sex with him. What, are you jealous? Are you jealous? Right. But if it works, right? Right. And, it's not about the haircut either. You know. It's about the attitude. It's about the confidence. Right? And see, unlike you, Jack probably knows what to do with a woman, right? And you don't. You're so afraid to even watch a porno because it's sexual and set for the camera that you are making it a sin when God never addressed it either in the Bible, right? No, he didn't. See, what you're doing is becoming self-righteous, right? You're making a commandment where there wasn't really a commandment for it, right? Now, they had orgies back then, right? But why not mention it in the Greek, right? Well, I'm sure there's a Greek word for an orgy, but what is it? It's not in the Bible. I know it's not in the Bible, right? And it's more than eros love, right? You can have eros love with your wife, you say, right? At least her, right? So, what's the problem with two consensual men or even a group of people having sex, right? As long as it's consensual, right? Now, here's the problem, though. If you're in a group having sex and someone don't want to do it or wants to leave the group, they can at any time. You understand what I mean there, too, right? You don't have to do it that way. That, too, is a choice, right? And if you can be with male or female and you're choosing the male or you're choosing the female, it's a choice. No matter what they lie about, they're lying. It's a choice. You got 2, sometimes 3, because there's true hermaphrodites. A few born, right? They're about 1 in 100,000 to maybe even 500,000. They're so rare, right? But they are born, right? They do exist. And they make a third gender. They're non-binary. Or totally binary, you understand. They're fully male and female. Some are triple X. Some have 3 X's. Some have 2 X's and a Y. Wow. And I'm not sure if it's from the female or the male. Either. Right. And some have XOXO. You know, hearts and flowers, right? Hugs and kisses, right? Well, some genes are XOXO, right? Believe it or not, right? You won't look into it. You think you know everything, self-righteous idiot, right? I did, because, hey, I ain't got nothing to do. Everybody's trying to get me in trouble. Trying to have sex with me, and I keep telling them no, right? Now, what do you think is better for me to do? Get out of the medical because I went crazy because I wouldn't have sex with him and tell them no, right? And wouldn't let them train me the way they wanted to train me because I knew they wouldn't really train me worth a damn anyway. They already were showing that, right? So you know if you give in, you're just going to get in trouble worse, or they're going to give you another than honorable discharge, right? So you don't give in. You fight them. You try to do your job by the best you can by yourself, right? Which is what the chief knew I was trying to do. But I'm especially not chief. You ain't going to get my butt. You weren't none of the enlisted men, right? Or the officers. My butt's so special. You'll have to stick something up after I'm dead, right? Because I'm going to fight you till you black me out, right, motherfucker? Excuse my French there, Samuel, but right, sometimes you need to use that word, educational Levi's. Some people are fuckers. Yeah, they are. They're uncle fuckers, too. They're aunt fuckers, too. They're dad fuckers, too, right? Father fuckers, mother fuckers, it's the same thing. Now, I'm doing that educationally, though, YouTube, right? Not to curse. It's a phrase. Fornication and lawful carnal knowledge is where the word F-U-C-K comes from, right? It's an acronym, right? Acronyms are a short way to say something instead of a longer way. So all fornication is considered unlawful carnal knowledge, right? Right. So F-U-C-K became fuck. It means something, right? See, the Bible don't say you can't use F-U-C-K. Men do because they're offended by the word. They're easily offended, not God, by the way. Or the angels. They blame them in their self-righteous attitude towards it. The angels will probably say, you are fucking quit. Quit fucking each other. You're fucking each other out of house and home. You're fucking each other to death. That's what they would say, right? Because you're calling it fornication, right? And not marriage either, right? Or something good, right? Now, you're also judging other people that they're fucking, right? So there you go. You're condemning yourself for the own sex act, even if you're legally married to your wife, right? Because you don't know she's your wife. If you're in an arranged marriage or you pick someone out in the crowd, it's still, you're picking someone or you're being with someone you don't know if you're really supposed to be with, but you can be with them anyway. That's the problem, right? So you forgive it according to Jesus to be saved, right? See? But if you condemn it, you're condemning your own marriage, and you might as well not have gotten married. That's the sin too. And you don't know who you're supposed to be with. Now, you're also not supposed to seduce a mentally ill person who's disabled and looking for a wife if you don't want to be his real wife, right? Now, if the girl was with me again last night, she still wants to be my wife, don't she? But he don't want her to be, right? He thinks he owns her. He thinks she's his wife, right? Even if they didn't have sex or something, right? That's vanity, right? And it's Satan's favorite sin. He'll make you vain. He'll make you self-righteous. He'll make you puffed up. He'll make you think you're right when you're wrong, right? And that's by condemning me for doing the same thing you want to do with her, right? When you won't let her go if she wants to go, whoever it is, right? If she didn't want me, she wouldn't be with me, and I wouldn't even sweat it, right? But the reason I'm not sure is, again, right, it can be anyone, right? And it's only on 2 channels, so either she put it on one, he put it on one, or there were 2 girls, right? And they put it on 2 different channels, like I said, 1319, and it's weird because, like I said, I was watching 35 and 22, right? Now, I do watch 3 sometimes, but on the big channel. I'll watch, like, Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes I'll catch The Voice or certain things, right? I do like some of the shows, right? Just not all the time. Just not all the time. Plus, I done seen The Voice. I done seen most of those shows, right? So, I'm into, of course, movies, and Stargirl or Kung Fu would kind of be better, or The Conners, or, right? I like more comedic stuff, right? Than, say, Chicago PD or Chicago Fire or Chicago MD or whatever. Mid, right? You know what I mean, right? I ain't into those shows as much, right? I'm more of a comedian, or, right? Into the comic book scene. I was kind of into that growing up, but most people are, right? More than you think, right? And what ain't cool about it is you put us down, right? You judge us, right? But you're living in a counter fantasy world where you're demonic, right? Don't even admit you're demonic, and going to hell quicker than us. Because we know what we're doing. I bet you a gay person will make it into heaven before some of these crazy so-called Christians in the South. Think about that. But if you want to go to heaven, I know. If there's a rock and roll heaven, well, life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, then you know you are a hell of a man. Man. Something like that. That was the Righteous Brothers, I believe. I know it was. But that's the point, right? Life is just your one-night stand, right? You don't even know what you're doing right or wrong. You're just here along for the ride. And Jesus even died for your ignorance of your sins, right? Even though you're self-righteous and doing the wrong things too, right? That's the problem. Some people don't understand Jesus in that area, right, of forgiveness, right? His forgiveness is 100%. Satan's 0%. So there you have the balance, right? We're all in the middle of that, right? We're either anywhere from 30 to 100%. Now, obviously, I'm here today, so I still forgave what happened last night. It's still on the 2 other channels I might get of it to, right? But they're still the same 2 channels. Whoever's putting it on the 2 other channels, or however's getting there, right? I don't know if something's messing up with the remote or something, right? Or it automatically goes to 3 for some reason, right? And then 9, right? 1 might kind of make sense. It is at the bottom of the screens, or the channels you can go to, but I still didn't watch it last night, and the last thing I remember on was being on 35 and recording Big Sky last night, right? And I might have recorded something on 9, but then it would have been on 9, right? Or was it 16? I'm not sure, right? But anyway.